two. All right, all right. I know y'all been waiting all week for the lioness experience.
Yes, they have.
Have they? I've been seeing them in the comments and all that. I just want to give y'all a little grab. It's something about that grab.
Do you hear me?
All right, so I need to turn that volume down while we're live. All right, all right, all right. We're talking about the pros and cons of dating today in 2023. What y'all feel about that?
Dating in 2023? We need to start dating in 2022.
Okay, we need to go back a little bit. We need to figure out where we messed up.
I think when the pandemic hit, huh?
The pandemic, did the pandemic stop you from dating?
Nope.
I will say this, it stopped me from dating new people.
That's true.
I was a little skeptical. It wasn't just age.
Fumbling through the phone book, like, you know what, he was all right.
It did. It made you go back to the call log.
Right.
A good conversation.
Let me unblock this person.
Right.
No, take that. Let me friend request. No.
He wasn't that bad, you know.
Yes, so I want to introduce myself to everyone. I am Millie. I am your host for the Lioness Experience, and I am glad to be here today. I have a few amazing women with me as well, and I would love to introduce you. What is your name?
Oh, I am Audrey Hayes.
Okay.
The brain.
The brain.
The brain.
Why they call you the brain? Please elaborate.
God has given me a unique gift.
Okay.
To be able to pretty much figure out anything. If you put it in front of me and allow me time to break it down,
okay, then
I can pretty much figure it out.
Okay.
So in most situations, they call me the brain.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Can you tell me who is the lady sitting to your left?
This is my beautiful friend and our co-host, Akimi.
What's up, everybody in the land of the living? This is Akimi Watkins. I am here with this lovely podcast, The Lioness. I also have a company, Watkins Select Properties. For all your real estate needs, give me a call, give me a holler, Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, because where you live is my business.
Oh, I love the way that sounds. Nice to have you here, Miss Akimi. To my right, we have Miss Destiny Dotson.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, how you feeling today, Destiny?
I feel amazing. What
you
about
look
yourself?
so beautiful.
Oh, you
I
do
love
too.
your smile.
Thank you.
She cute.
Yeah, or whatever.
She cute.
All right, and we have one of the baddest Dallas Carter cowgirls. Excuse me, Cowboys, CC.
You know it.
Too bad, too bold. Catherine Colvison is in the house. We appreciate you coming, gracing us with your presence, your knowledge, your perspective, your opinion.
It is always a blessing to be a part of this show. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
It's always a blessing
Yes.
and a good time.
Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Oh, wow. I have a nonprofit. It's called Angels of Aubrey. Thank y'all so much for the support as we've been launching Soaring with Angels. So a lot of big things are being planned. I just got my first sober living home.
Yeah.
So that's a new business adventure that I've come into. So that's been cool. So, God is constantly opening up doors and allowing me to see people who are, seeing them for who they are, not for who I want them to be. So I just continue to thank him. And, as you always say, people are constantly reminding me to be a lady. So I'm going to take that, and I appreciate that
and
so
we're
much.
talk about that, too, today. We're going to definitely talk about the importance of being a lady because we all want to be caught. Because the Bible says a man findeth a good thing, right? So we can't go out there looking for him. So we got to be a lady and be ready for when he comes so he can stay. Because we ain't running off nobody else.
Well,
We ain't running off nobody else. I want to get together. I want to get myself together every day. I want to be a better woman.
we need some
day.
good stock,
I
though.
want- Huh?
I'm just saying, I'm tired of these little throwback fish in the ponds.
Oh, you throwing them back?
I do my community service. I throw them back.
Okay.
They need time to grow. Floor,
Right.
eat a little more tadpoles or whatever fish eat. Come
Yes.
back to me
What
a
they
little
say,
later.
a man that don't fish, don't eat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So before we dive all the way in it, we want to encourage our audience. We want to encourage our guests. We want to encourage the world, our audience that we currently have and the ones that are on the way. So we want to talk about something that's new. Now, I have to give props because I was absent at the last show. I do apologize, but Jamaica called my name and I answered. But I want to give a shout out to Destiny. You said you got an LLC?
I
You
did.
got
Big
a
ups.
Hold on, where's the round of? I'm gonna give you that.
Congratulations,
Thank
Destiny.
y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, I didn't want to talk about it before we got here because I wanted to give you your kudos kudos on air.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are scared. They're scared to start a business. They have a business, they got a business card, but they're not going the full step.
Right,
And
right.
so I want to surround myself with nothing but positive women, and I want to inspire. So I just want to give you your
Thank
flowers.
you so much.
Congratulations.
You know, the process was easy getting the LLC.
Okay.
It's the aftermath.
Okay.
It's after the fact. It's just like, woo, every day I'm working.
Yes.
Because I know I got to build it. You know, you got to take care of it like it's your personal credit.
Yes.
So it's going to pay off, though. I believe in that.
It's already done.
Yes.
So what's the name of your LLC?
D for Destiny Wig Collection, LLC.
Yes. Destiny has wigs, you guys. So she is a great person to contact if you want some hair, you want it to flow.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Them bundles.
Okay. So if anyone has anything they'd like to share with what's new,
Oh, we quiet.
anybody?
What's new?
Come on.
I
I hear
well,
I
I
hear
say this.
crickets.
What's new? Because we all have some blessings up in this room. I don't know why. You know, it just I don't know why we're not discussing it. I know Audrey has some
What?
really good
Oh,
news.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? We traveling
yes.
to the sky. You
Go
know what I'm
ahead.
saying? You
Edify.
also have some good news as far as your business flourishing and everything.
Okay,
Of
okay.
course, your LLC.
Yes.
Also yourself with getting your business and everything together. How do I know all these women's blessings and they don't want to tell
Well,
nobody?
somebody
I wanna
speak.
tell
I'm
nobody.
gonna give y'all the floor.
You know?
Go ahead, Audrey. Tell us
You just sitting there smiling. You want to talk any time. Come on, Audrey.
You done testified all week on social media. But
Don't let me
the
give her
glory of
testimony
God.
and get the glory.
Go ahead and tell our audience, because we got about 22 viewers right now, and the numbers are climbing, and
so
they need to hear.
This is what I'm gonna say, right? The word of God says, if you remain in Him, that you can have whatever you ask.
Amen.
Right? And so I make God the center of all that I do. My day, my purpose, my goals. It's all about, you know, how I can be reflected as a good disciple of God by bearing good fruits, right? You know a disciple of God by the bearing of their fruit.
Yes.
And so I believe in bold prayer, right?
Oh.
So when I ask God for things, last night when me and Akima were on the phone, I've shared with y'all before that I write my prayers down, and my prayers are really my goals. But I go deep, right? What I want for my career, my business,
You're
how I want it to grow.
Yeah.
For my kids, I pray for my kids. I pray for my grandkids. I pray for the breaking of generational curses. I go deep. It's a 3-page list, right? And I don't pray it every day, but I pray it on a consistent basis. And I wrote in 2020 that I wanted to feed 3,000 kids, not knowing how that would happen or how that would come about. Well, I sit here today in 2023, and we are officially going to be feeding 4,000 kids.
Amen to that.
And
Won't he do it?
How many
You know, he
people?
said
How
it.
many kids?
4,000.
Amen to that.
So that is a testimony to writing the vision, making it plain, to being consistent. How you said, I'm working. I know it's gonna pay off.
It will.
I've been in business for 14 years, and there's a statement that Bruce Lee says, when the student is ready, the master will appear.
Yes.
Right? And so I'm in a season where God knows that I'm ready. He's prepared me. I don't have to get ready. I stay ready. So the blessings are just overflowing. And I told you last night.
I
Millie,
know, I'm ready to tell your
no,
testimony,
don't
but
tell
I
it.
ain't gonna
Don't
tell
tell
it.
it.
I ain't gonna do
Okay.
it. I ain't gonna do it.
Okay. So the blessings are coming day after day after. Like, I don't have to go out and look for it. They come in.
They come in.
They
you.
come
They
in
come
your
behind
doorstep.
you.
And so
As they
for you
should.
to be launching your program, for
Yes.
you to be launching your business, for you to be growing in yours, and you to be growing in yours, it just means that God is in the neighborhood,
Right.
and we're in good company.
Amen to
So
that.
if I was to tell anybody to do anything, I'm gonna tell you to stay grounded in the Lord,
Yes.
stay committed, stay faithful, and stay prayerful.
And you
I
know,
advance to that.
I spoke with her on yesterday, and one thing I think that resonated with me when we was having the conversation. One thing is, I don't know why we talk on the phone late, and we always
To
like
2
2
o'clock
hours.
in the morning.
You know,
I got off the phone with her and got on the phone with you.
Reciprocation, baby. When it's
that's why I made it in
reciprocated.
2023. I'm gonna be talking to somebody else at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
All right, because we need your questions.
But no, but really, what I got from that was, and I really always appreciate my friends when they come to me with their blessings, because I pray every morning for all my friends. I pray for my family, for myself to be a better person on every day. And one thing that I really appreciate is I get a high when my friends get blessed. Like it's my blessing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're a
Like,
good
God, you know,
person.
I love that. And what I got from that and resonated from that was a lot of times when we pray, we meditate or whatever, you know, in the land of the living, what you may call it, is we pray for things that only make sense to us. You know what I mean? So we try to make it be logical. Well, God, you know what? Next year, I just want to do double of what I did this year in business. Because it makes sense to you. You know, you can handle that. Like, I can handle a little more because if I handle that.
Yes.
But no, that doesn't mean that's how much money you want to make. So what
Right.
I was letting her know was like, you know what? That's the person I'm going to go, I'll make double because then if I can't hire a person, it don't have to make sense. Like you said, you got to dream bold. You got to pray bold. God, I want to do 3 times as much as I did last year.
Correct.
And whatever else comes in between, he's going to bless you to be able to handle that situation.
Speak life.
And then
You know?
what you do is, y'all know I'm big on that financial budgeting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what your 3 times is. See, you figure out, and I teach this in my class. You figure out how you want to live. You don't let a job tell you make $25 an hour,
right,
and
that's
then
right.
you fit your life into the $25 an hour. No, you don't do that. You figure out the life that you want to live and what that costs. And
Right.
once you figure out what that costs, you know what to go get.
Yeah.
When you go in there interview for a promotion, you know how much money that you need to ask
make.
for, and you're not taking a penny less because you know your value, you
your
know
worth.
your worth.
That
Right?
is
But
true.
you got to write that down. You got to write a budget. You got to write your goals. You got to write your visions, and then you got to stick to it.
I just want to interject in this because you're a numbers girl.
Okay.
So I was just getting my makeup done a while ago, and I was talking to my makeup artist, and we were having a discussion because I said, girl, every month I'd be like, do I need to apply for a job? You know, I have that look, but that's lack of faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to continue to have faith even when things are not good. So that's the point that I'm telling y'all. You got to have faith. But the point of what I'm trying to say is she was like feeling the same way. Should I go back and teach? She was like, and she said in a week she made $1,000. She said a person going to a 9 to 5, they would have to work 2 weeks or work 40 hours just to
average.
get the 1,000, and barely will get the 1,000 for the 40 hours.
After they take
Yes.
FICA.
That is true.
Okay.
So she stated that she would rather she worked 5 hours in that time frame. It was
Right.
5 hours. It took her 5 hours to make $1,000 versus the 40 hours to make $1,000 if you make the grand.
Right.
So it's like she wants to do part time. She wants to work for herself. You know what I'm saying? You trying to figure it out. The thing is, just go harder for you.
See, I'm gonna tell you something. And this is funny, but it's not. Somebody tagged me in a job post the other day, and before I knew it, I responded, "Ma'am, I would never work for somebody, okay? Because if you're going to bet on somebody, I'm going to tell you to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Because an employer, you get sick, your kid gets sick, your family member die, you die. Okay, they're gonna replace you in 2 weeks.
Right.
So what you want to have the mindset of is how do I create for myself? So even if you work for everybody who work for somebody should have a side hustle of some kind, bringing in income and revenue. Because if you gonna bet on somebody, you bet on yourself.
Absolutely. But
That
I
is
believe
true.
what's for you is for you. So, some people, everybody has to have a specific job that's just for them. So if it is a job that makes you happy and that's where you are, that's fine. But this is for the people who want to have their mindset of where you don't want to work for somebody. But to be truthfully honest, we say we're not working for somebody, but we go harder for ourselves than anything. So you could say we're not working for nobody, but we working for them kids, or we working for ourselves. We're working for our dreams and our aspirations and our goals. We're working for our future. We go hard. We get up in the morning versus when you punch a clock. It's harder. We work way more hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was up to 4:17
Yeah,
last night. working.
So, I believe what's for you is for you, but you have to know. And I think the main thing you said is you have to pray. You have to pray bold. You know what I'm saying?
You
There
have
is
to be
no
bold.
limit, because anything in between that you think doesn't make sense or how you're going to get it done, if God's going to bless you to have it, He's going to bless you to have a way to make sure that it happens.
But let me tell
That
you what
is
that is.
true.
That's faith. See, the reason why God blesses me the way that He blesses me is because the word tells you to have faith the size of a mustard seed, right? I have faith the size of a mountain, right?
You better speak.
Okay,
it.
because I've gone from having $3 to having thousands of dollars the next day, right? Can't nobody do that but the Lord, right? I've put 3 kids through private school working for myself, right?
Uh-huh.
I've sustained my household working for myself. All of that came about because of faith. It was all because of faith. Because I jumped out on that ledge, and I believe that God sent me on this journey so that I could fulfill it. So, yeah.
I love that. I'm glad Akemi, I be loving it because, I was in my mind, I was like, we need to get on topic. But Akemi brought up God's plan. And that was one of my topics that I wanted to talk about when it comes to dating.
Yes.
What is God's plan? We be seeking and looking. If he look good, you done forgot all about what God said. You done forgot all about what you wanted because that shiny penny is over there, okay? Or that hard nickel or that silver dollar, whatever it is, $100 bill, priceless, whatever it is. We forget what God's plan is or what we desire.
Yeah.
And we desire things according to God. You know what I'm saying? Like Audrey says, it's very important. We want to include God in everything that we do.
Okay.
I
Yes,
definitely
yes,
include him in everything that I do. So dating, all I gotta do is be with a man for 3 minutes in public, not by himself, for 3 minutes, and I can for surely determine if he's not the one.
And it's not that easy for me.
Well, for me, it
It's
is.
just not.
Because
I mean-
you're kind-hearted.
She
You're so
is.
kind.
She is.
And I love a kind heart. I love your heart. But tell me why you feel that way.
Well, I mean, it's like I can meet somebody, and I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt too. It's like, okay, they could have been nervous, they could have been this, they could have been that, it could have been. Now I say the older I get, the less patience I do have. You could chew awkwardly wrong, and I'm got to look at you across the table and say, am I gonna be able to live with you for the rest of my life, looking at you chew like that? No, I'm not. So I can get petty, but I do feel like, and it's hard for me to tell somebody I just don't like you, kind of, sort of.
Oh, she has such a hard time with that.
Oh,
she want to break up with him and leave him alone, and she just keeps saying, "Okay, I'll meet you."
Oh, but that's your friend. So you really don't put her down about it because that's connected to other good things about her. You just kind of dialogue with her, and just accept, because I'd rather have a nice, sweet friend and help her with it and help her get better versus putting her down about it because she may get hard in other areas.
Correct.
I
We
think
gotta
people
recognize.
are kind, So
Yeah.
I think there's really good people. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're good for me or we're good together. You might be good with somebody else. But I've had to learn, even in dating, I haven't always enjoyed dating. I mean, I really don't love dating. It's weird. I love dating somebody I'm with, but I don't like dating different people.
I don't like dating different people either because it gets boring.
But
and
that's how you get to know people.
gets
So it's like
silly.
catch-22, or you could have a good time and then realize, dang, you know what? We don't connect on that level.
I think I learned me. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
you
I know
do.
you saying learn
Yeah.
different people, and you do.
Yeah.
But I learned me. I was telling my friend the other day, even though you date somebody, even if it was 6 months, literally, I was happily married for 7 months, happily. I probably was married a little over a year, going through the process, trying to listen to the Lord and all that good stuff. But I learned myself. It was not a waste of time. I learned what I'm going to put up with. That's why it's so easy
But that
for
is
me
true.
to take
But
3 minutes.
And it doesn't have to be something, and I did learn this. It doesn't matter if it's petty to you.
Yes.
If that's something that you desire, it's you, and it's okay to want what you want.
Absolutely.
It's okay to want what you want.
But you got to know what you want.
You have
right?
to know what you want.
So
Absolutely.
it comes back to what I said earlier. Like I literally manifested a man. We had a great relationship for about a year and a half. And the one thing that I asked for 17 things. I didn't know it was 17 things until my mentor pointed it out
My
to
list
me.
was long, but it was great.
It is.
It was
Do you
great.
mind
It is.
sharing a few of it on your
This
list?
was great.
My list is for him to be spiritually grounded, for him to be family oriented, for him to be ambitious, for him to be affectionate, for him to be an entrepreneur, for him to have sons, for
Why? Why
the
do you want him
sons,
to have sons?
because I have sons.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
And so I want somebody that understands the investment that you have to make in a male, not only when they're young, but throughout the course of their life.
Yes.
So I look for somebody that can be a father, even though my kids are grown, I still look for somebody that can be a father figure
Right.
for my sons, right? So I didn't know it was 17 things on the list. My friend said she had 5 and I had 17, but he was literally all 17 things. And the one thing that I did not ask for, he was not. And that was one thing
What
that I
was it?
to be
Girl, give it. We gotta change lives, and the way we can change lives is transparency.
No,
if he ain't make it, he ain't make it.
You just gonna say he didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we gonna leave it. We'll
Okay.
leave it. I'm glad we did get to touch on God's
No, I
plan.
want to know.
Okay.
We know.
Destiny want to know.
I'm lost in the sauce. Maybe I
Oh,
was
are you
listening.
lost?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she don't want to share.
I ain't going there.
But we're off air.
Okay, you know what? I will share because
Okay,
it'll
go ahead.
help somebody.
Okay. Thank
He
you.
wanted to be in an open relationship. He wanted me to be the main wife and we could have a side
Oh,
wife.
I'm glad you
And
brought that up.
I wasn't about that. I don't share. I'm the queen.
Oh.
Queens don't share their throne. So I wasn't about that life. And so even though he was all other 17 things that I asked for, he was not faithful. And so for that reason, I left.
Well, make sure you add faithful to your list.
I
Manifest
did.
your next-
Yeah,
But
that
the
was
thing is, I
one
feel like the
mistake.
things
Added.
that you ask for, you have to be those things as well.
I do too.
You
That's a
can't
good one.
Correct.
you can't ask God to send you a wholesome person and you're not wholesome.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
right.
you can't ask
That's
God
why
to
you
send
got to know your word.
But that's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's one
You-
thing that I've said. All the things that you're asking of me, all the things that you're asking of me, can you do those things as well?
Right.
Can you be those things? And I've said that, a lot of people know I've been married, not married anymore, but that was something that we used to go over a lot. Okay, you want this. You want me to be a wife. That used to be a favorite thing. I need you to be a wife. I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? But that would be my name, wife. So I said, well, all this that you want, you have a list of things, and that's great. You should know what you want. But are you able to produce the same things that you're asking of me? I told this story. This was years ago. I was in a group of young ladies. Some were my friends, some were friends of my friends. And I'm gonna take this quick. She says, well, I didn't really know her. She was a friend of a friend. But she says, I want a man that looks like this, that drives this kind of car, that makes this kind of money, that lives like this, and whoop, 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 all this kind of stuff. And y'all know me. I'm very listen. So I say,
Go ahead.
well, baby, he ain't gonna find you. You work at Walmart.
Oh,
And I have nothing against Walmart, but I'm using it as
You got
an
a
example.
standard.
But he's
Oh, that's
not going to find you because you're not the type of woman he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have an education, and like I said, I'm not against anybody. It's just a true conversation. You're not the type of woman he's looking for. But now, if you're that type of man, if you're looking for that type of man, you need to be that type of woman that he's looking for.
Absolutely.
So when I
It
got
has to go
divorced,
hand
that's
in
what been in
hand.
my mind. Because, the dating thing, I'm like, well, where people go to date people?
And so let me tell you
Where
about
at?
that dating thing where you said you have to be what you want to ask for. This is one thing that I have found.
The type of woman that he's looking for.
He's looking for.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's real. Okay, so based on my list, right, all the things that I ask for, I offer. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I have learned is that women oftentimes won't approach a man who's out of her league per se, but a man will approach a woman who is out of his league without hesitation, right? Like they'll try for it. Let me see if she'll go for it, right? So I think that you have to be conscious of what they really bring to the table and who they say they are. Yeah, I need one of them too. Here you go.
And so what is this? So they talk about dating in 2023. I was hearing on the radio where it was like, well, what do you bring to the table? And what do you bring to the table? I don't know if I've ever had a conversation about what you bring to the table. Maybe somebody can expand. What are we supposed to bring to the table?
You're
that's a
supposed-
good question. Go ahead.
You're supposed to be whole. See, a relationship is not 50-50. It's 100-100. So you want to be the best you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically,
Absolutely.
family, career. You want to be the best you that you are so that you come to the table bringing the table. See, like for me, I bring the whole table. Right? So what am I looking for you to bring? The whole table. Right?
At least bring the chairs, the tablecloth, and the paper plates.
Now
and
you
the-
got to bring the table.
But a lot of time men
ahead.
bring the table. But my pastor said something that sticks with me. A lot of times we get what we're looking for. It just doesn't come in the wrapping that you want it to.
Oh, I like
So a lot of
that.
times
Yes,
they
that's
might
true.
be bringing the table, the house, and everything else. It's just not coming the way you want it to be dressed up as,
That's true.
and that's where we get thrown off. And the group of guys, and it's funny because I got into it with one of my homeboys about this the other day. He stopped talking to a chick because she wasn't financially on his level. And me and my boyfriend, because he's an entrepreneur, he makes great money. Like him and his group of friends, they are wealthy black men. So I listen to their conversations on what they date all the time. And he constantly tells me a real man with money, with standards, that has foundation, that is mentally, financially, emotionally stable, they're not worried about your pockets.
That's right.
And either they're gonna be an asset and pick you up where you lack. But then I'm like, well, as a woman, why am I not supposed to be that for you? What if I need to have your back? You know what I mean? So I don't want to be in that position where I'm taken care of, but if you need me, I can't take care of you.
Right.
So I believe that it does need to be 100 or 100. If you bringing in 800,000, I ain't saying I got to bring in 800,000 either, but I need to be able to have your back if you fall,
That's how it should
because
be.
that's a partnership. Like we're not here. I posted a post yesterday. It's cool to find somebody to chill with. What can we build?
Do you hear me?
Like I'm cool with
That's
chilling, but
what's
what are we
important.
building?
'Cause I
So
think, like to say, the older we get, and I shouldn't even say as an age, as time goes, as we get more, I don't want to say established, or just as we grow, certain things become more important than others.
And they do.
You know, like when I was younger, you know, you had a nice car, you got a little cash in your pocket, you got a little job, you come pick me up, you know, I'm like, oh, he cute, he good.
whatever.
But now it's like, you know what, I'm going to need to know how you think in business. How
What
do you
your
look
mental
at
like,
your
right?
future? Right. How can we have a conversation? What is it like in our quiet? You know what
What
I'm
is
saying?
your relationship?
I can't
like?
even get that far. We trying to see you got somewhere to stay. The basic fundamentals of being an adult. Like we can't even get past that these days.
Right.
I want to know if you
That's
take
your
care of
red
his
Right, then
kids.
you take care. Like it's the basics for me.
And it's
But
hard. But so where do people
ahead.
go to find people to date? Like dating 2023.
Church.
What is
I
it?
ain't looking.
church.
I heard of apps.
Let me tell you something. You got to be at the right church. You can go to a little traditional church if you want to, but you take your butt to Potter's house.
You
Full
did
of
not
men.
plug in.
I'm going to say my new pastor is Bishop T.D. Jakes of Dallas, Texas, the Potter's House, and I am proud to say that I have a man in front of me on Sundays that's dressed nice from head to toe, a true example on how he treat his wife
Nice.
and his daughters and his sons and how he treat his people even in a mega church. You
Okay,
hear
so
me?
if it's not the church, because I don't know if
I
go
don't
shopping
think
at
you
the
go
church.
looking.
I don't think you go.
I don't
looking.
think you go
too.
looking.
Well,
I-
I should say, what place should people be in? Because I know a lot of people talking about the apps.
Girl, you can be at the gas
They're talking
station.
about the
You could be in the grocery store.
Apps.
QT.
Now,
No.
when you looking tired, they do hit you up at the grocery store.
Man,
You can be
You
anywhere.
be looking real tired.
You,
Man.
I heard
vacuuming out
someone.
your car at the
I
gas
heard
station.
someone say you
What?
you date where you would want to be.
I heard that too.
So
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
want to be,
I like
if
that.
you date where you want to be, if you date, if you want to live an upscale life, then that's where you
the
need to
gas
be
station
hanging
used
out
to
at.
be, right?
Like
That's
you,
it.
you only attract what you are, and if you're not attracting
Right.
that means you're not ready for that type of person. So that means you need to stay in your league and still work on you.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it is working on you. You know, we all trying to, let's say you come out of a relationship, you used to be in a relationship, so you want that void right there. But you might not be ready for a relationship. Because I
Oh,
think what was
that's good.
mine's last season, I call myself in seasons, right? I
Okay.
didn't want a boyfriend. I didn't want none of that stigma because I wanted to work on me. And I've met some really nice people, some nice guys, but I really wanted to work on me, so I couldn't even see past girlfriend, marriage, or anything serious. I just
And you had
didn't
plenty
desire.
of offers. You
I
had-
mean, look at her.
She
Look
did.
at that smile.
She had plenty of offers,
you.
but she wasn't trying to hear none of it.
No.
Let me ask y'all this. I'm
Wasn't
sorry
good.
to switch the game up because this has been a question that has popped up on one of my specific conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup. We love makeup. You know what I'm saying? Audrey loves makeup.
Yes,
She has
I
a
do.
whole makeup room and she got a whole little setup. I like makeup too. I know I was into makeup when I got married. When I got married, I felt myself getting pretty. I'm in the mirror drawing on my eyebrows, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to draw my eyebrows on. You know what I'm saying? But I do like a little enhancement every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I like to feel pretty, and I also like to be natural. And I feel like even though you have on makeup tonight, I feel like you're a natural woman. So how do you feel when a man approaches you or have a conversation and he says, baby, you don't need all that makeup?
I've had that. I have had that.
Okay.
I think that, how do I feel if that conversation? It kind of depends on how that conversation came about. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're pouring into me, you're coming from a sincere place. I believe I'm taking that like, wow, he really enjoys my natural beauty. Because as a woman, to be very transparent, I've had times where I struggle with my natural beauty because makeup and clothes, they could kind of hide what you really feeling in real life. You know what I'm saying? So makeup makes me feel good. You know, that's one thing. I probably wear makeup probably every day. You know what I'm saying? Not maybe to the extent, but it's something. You know,
to enhance.
But so when I'm getting dressed, that's part of getting dressed for me.
Yeah.
So
You're
coming from a place
professional.
of coming from a place of love and the intentions of why you're saying it. Because I've had, you know, I usually date women who don't wear a lot of makeup. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I wear makeup. But I've had someone that says, you know, your natural beauty is absolutely gorgeous. And that makes you don't mind walking around the house without having to feel like you're getting dressed. So, I mean, it does.
That's kind of when you know. When
Yeah.
when you can just be yourself. You ain't got to put on eyelashes.
Right.
You know, you don't mind he saw you in your bonnet. You know, when you can just really just be your natural self and you're comfortable, because that's something that a lot of women struggle with. When you're comfortable being your natural self with somebody, that's how you kind of know that's the person for you.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to put down your walls and it allows you to be vulnerable. Because see, to be naked without eyelashes, you're being, for me, I'm being vulnerable with somebody. Okay?
Yeah.
So it allows you to see if they're really invested in you beyond just being, per se, a trophy wife, being beautiful.
I agree with you on that, Ivory. So I do want to stay on focus. If there's any questions that you guys have in the chat, thank you all for tuning in. I will tell y'all this. We do appreciate y'all tuning in. So any questions that you may have, please put them in the chat. Audrey is looking.
I'm going to tell you what Maria Williams said. She said, Myra. Oh, hey, Myra.
Y'all know Myra?
Yes,
I like her name, Myra.
Hey, Myra. Okay. Myra said, one is allowed to have an opinion on makeup, but people are attached to energy, spirit, intelligence. All those things are natural.
Absolutely.
I love makeup, but it does not define my natural beauty.
And you know, I
Absolutely,
was
I like
going
that.
to comment on what you said just because how you stated that you feel like that's how you know when someone is for you, when you can be without
Vulnerable.
makeup. No, I'm without makeup. Without makeup or eyelashes around them. I don't find that true. But that's just my opinion. I don't find that true.
What do you find true then?
I just think that you just know because I'm gonna walk around whoever without my makeup and eyelashes on, and you get what you see.
Oh, and I think that y'all saying the same thing. In my eyes,
So I
but
don't
you
think that
just
it
more
necessarily-
open with it on the front end versus the
Yeah.
back end. She wants to get to know somebody, and because to me, when I go out, I want to be cute. I want to be smelling good, making sure I'm looking.
We
good,
all do,
smelling good.
right.
But I'm gonna be honest. I've been a whole week without makeup. I've been without makeup. I went with my lashes, and I'm on FaceTime with my friend, and I'm like, I don't like the way I'm looking on this FaceTime call because I didn't feel glowed up. That's why I was telling Catherine on my way. I'm glad I went and got my makeup done.
And that
before the
feels
show.
good. And I don't think it's necessarily when she's, from what I gather, it's necessarily the eyelashes or the makeup. It's basically what you're saying is some of the things that you can let go and be 100% yourself.
Like, I'm going to give you an example.
Like, let's say wigs. Let's just say. Some
Okay.
people wear wigs. Like, I wear wigs. I keep my hair.
You wear wigs?
I do. Well,
I ain't never
She
seen you in no
used
wig.
to. She used to.
I'm bundles. I love
I
some hair.
love the hair.
Love some hair. Thank you. But for me to walk, let's say for me to walk around without my hair done at the house, that's a struggle for me. Like around, if it's even
You
if
a
I would
real
do-
lady.
That's a struggle for me. I mean, I would have to have my hair top. That's a struggle for me, and I don't think it has to do necessarily with the other person. I think how it makes me feel. To
I
that
think it was the
person.
time.
But
when
don't
we
y'all
were
ever
raised
come to
too.
my house.
And but
Baby, I
for
be
people that wear
bonnet, no
wigs,
clothes.
They take them off in public. And
Sure
if I
did.
did, I'm hot. I probably would too. Put a hat on. It is what it is. I
Right.
do want to go over this list, y'all, because we have questions that were actually submitted. But before we get to the questions, I want to ask. I want you to think about it first before you respond. What is your true definition of dating? Like, we're talking about a lot of different characteristics and how we are as a lady. That's why I really wanted a man on the show to kind of give us a little perspective from a man. But I want to get to the rooter, to the tutor. I want to talk about the true definition. I want to know your definition. I wrote a run-on sentence about what dating was to me, but I want you to think about it and express it through the mic because our viewers may have an idea of dating. You know what I'm saying? they may think dating is Netflixing and chilling, and that's not dating.
That is not dating.
But they have that idea. If come to my
He's
house,
selling you
or-
short. He's
Yeah.
selling you short with
Yeah.
that, and you're allowing him to sell you
Yeah.
short.
Now I want you to think about this too. If you're dating a man, for one, opposites attract. I'm an extrovert. I work well with an introvert. So if he don't want to go out, or if he doesn't have the desire to be with a lot of people, he's gonna be at home. It doesn't mean that that's where it stops, or that he shouldn't attempt to go to the farmer's market or go to a museum. Because some people are, you brought it up, they are afraid. They have anxiety. They don't want to be out. Men are hard on themselves. A lot of weight are up on men's backs. And I'm so glad that I kind of turned it, because I want to focus on them too, because we're women and we need them just like they need us. But we have to understand, if they're thinking about where to go, they thinking about the parking, they thinking about driving, they thinking about paying, they thinking
Men
about
have
the
a lot of
tip.
responsibility.
They have a lot of
They do.
responsibility, especially with a woman
They
that is
do.
strong like the people I flock around. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
just in general, we do put a lot of responsibilities on a man.
Mm-hmm.
There just are a lot of responsibilities, to be a man, because, they have to try to think for everybody. And I commend all the men that do take on those responsibilities and take them on and strong and just go with it. I'm the man. I'm going to take care of this. I got this. I really feel like that's a strong thing, because it's a lot. It is a lot. I look at, people I've dated. I'm like, man, dealing with me, you got a lot.
You got a lot,
You
and
do.
you wanna. And I don't think that I am hard to deal with, or that I ask for a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty independent. I think everybody here at this table
Well, it's
is
not
pretty-
asking or who. It's just a man wants to make sure that all your
Absolutely.
needs and wants are met.
He wants
You
to be
know?
needed.
And he
He
does,
wants
right.
to. Okay,
right.
I'm
I
gonna
think
tell
so.
y'all
Go
this
ahead.
story,
Go
right?
ahead.
And I think I told you this before.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. I went and got a massage years ago, and the massage therapist was a man. And while he was giving me my massage, he was telling me how he met his wife. She was praise dancing at the Fur Park, and when she came off, she got in his massage chair, and boom, that's how they met. But he prayed for his wife from the first initial of her name. But what part stood
Wow.
out to me was he prayed for her to have a son. And I asked him why, and he said because he wanted her to be able to understand what it took for him to become a man. Years later, fast forward, my sons washed my truck one day, right?
Okay, sons.
And they came in to get me, but I was moving. I was moving slow, taking my time getting out there, and they were like, "Mama, come on, Mama, come on, Mama, come on." And so I finally got out there, and they were just waiting on me to tell them that they did a good job, right? Same thing a few years later, a male friend of mine, he washed his wife's car, and when she came out, instead of saying, "Thank you for washing my car,"
What'd she say?
she started pointing out stuff that he did
Oh,
wrong,
I think
right?
you told me this.
I did. And he said to me, "Oh, I'll never wash her car again." And so what I learned in those 3 separate instances is that for males, they want to be affirmed the same way their mother
Right.
affirmed them. They want to be needed. They want to meet a need for you. They do. They want to be. They want to
glad
take
you
out
said
the
that.
trash.
That's true. My boyfriend told me I didn't make him feel needed.
I've heard
Yeah,
that before,
and
too.
that makes them feel some kind of way.
It does, but you also have to explain to people, because you got to think I ain't been in a relationship in 10 years. So I'm over here like, it hurt my feelings when he told me. I was like, I don't make you feel needed. But then I had to make him sit down and understand I might not need you the way the last person needed you.
Right.
So how you were previously needed, I might not need you that way. So you got to also adapt to who you dealing with, because they might not need you the same way. I might not need you financially. I might need you emotionally, mentally, and
Yes.
spiritually.
Right.
So you got to adapt to my needs and my wants. I can't, and I'm going to adapt to yours the same, because I'm not going to treat you like I try somebody else. But that is a hurtful thing for some man to tell you don't make him feel needed.
But see, think about how
Ooh.
hurtful it was to you. Think about how it feels to him, right? He want to meet your needs. He want to provide for you. He want to empty the trash. He want to wash the car. He want to put gas in the car, right? But I'm doing it all. See,
Right.
that's why I'm an independent woman. I don't run on that. I don't
like
do
that
that,
either.
right? I'm not
I like
independent. I'm self-sufficient
Right.
because I never want to be independent of a man. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
All right.
And that is a good point to bring up, because I think with in social media, or with just we want to be bosses and we want to be independent.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the boss at
I
home.
don't-
Yeah, I don't want
I don't
to.
wanna-
I'll
I
be.
wanna be-
I'm
I
like,
wanna-
put me in the trunk.
I wanna be a girl,
Yeah,
like,
like I
real
just
talk.
want to be here. Like at this
just wanna
point,
be a
I want you to do
girl.
whatever. Like I don't want to have to think for me and you. I want to take a break on that.
Facts. You know, we was talking about that the other day.
Last
You know,
night.
now out in the world, this is just who I am. This is just what I do. This is just me. But when I get home, I just want to be a girl. I want to climb up on the couch and up underneath my man.
Yeah,
I want to put on my fuzzy socks and pajamas and eat popcorn
And be feminine.
and just be a girl.
yeah,
You
and
know?
that's the thing. You want a man to put you in your feminine
That's
energy.
right,
Like
that's
when he
right.
is for you, and this is one
And
thing
he
I
will.
think
Yep.
that I have realized, when a person is meant for you or created for you, and that's what they're designed, you're gonna automatically be submissive, and you're gonna it's gonna be organic, it's gonna be genuine. You gonna organically be like, whatever you need. You're gonna automatically be catering. But one thing I can adore about my boyfriend is I had a conversation with him today, and he was like, "You got this wall up. You got this wall up." So I looked at him. I was like, "How about you help me take the bricks down together?"
You hear me?
I was like, "How about
love
we do it
I love
together
it.
instead of you wanting me to take down this wall?"
But you
Because
may not know how to do
I'm
that.
like, sometimes I need you to lead me and help me take them down, or let me know that you're securing me enough to help me take them down. Because
It's okay for you to be vulnerable in
Yeah.
this situation.
Exactly.
Situations
Yes.
that you're not normally used to being vulnerable in.
and it's a blessing. Like, I'm not taking it as a complaint. It's just a blessing to have those experiences, because I could be in my first relationship after 10 years and somebody not caring. So I have to be kind of careful, because to me it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, I can do it. Like, I've been here. I've been doing it. Like, in my mind, it's like I created this foundation, so I know I'm good by myself. Now, if you want to come in and add, but you have to get out of that mindset, because people do want to be, like you say, they want to be needed. They want to be wanted.
But
They,
that's women and men.
yeah,
We
it
wanna
has
feel
to be,
needed as well.
yeah, like you have to be vice versa. But again, you got to be understanding and mature enough to understand sometimes it's okay not to react. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's okay just to sit there.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Can you say that again?
Yes.
Sometimes it's okay not to react. And I have to learn that. Like, he'll say something and I would be like, well, let me leave my wisdom, not my emotions. I'll be right back.
That
And
goes
so-
back to God's plan.
Yeah.
Because if you're being led by God, a lot of people be saying, "Oh, I'm the only fool with her or him no more," but and it didn't work. You can't sit here and talk about that person and think it's that person.
Right. You have to
You
check yourself
chose that
sometimes.
Yeah.
person.
you have to
Your
check yourself
discernment
sometimes.
in God chose that
And
person.
that's true.
So you need to hold yourself accountable and realize and reflect on yourself. I had a friend tell me yesterday, she was talking about an issue, and she was like, "I'm just gonna go pray about it." I said, "Well, make sure you pray about what you can do better as well."
Right.
Because you're talking about what somebody did to you, and they may be doing something wrong to you. This is not even a boyfriend situation. Like, we got to understand relationship.
Period.
Not just necessarily
Any
with a
type of
man,
relationship.
because any relationship that you have, it runs off within your
That is true.
your romantic relationship. So I want to back up, y'all, because this is important. I want to talk about the definition of dating.
So you did ask that.
I want to read mine.
Okay, go ahead.
And then
Read yours.
you tell me yours, because I want to give you an opportunity to think about it. 'Cause
Okay.
This run-on sentence. is the whole-
it looks
is
like a
sentence.
paragraph.
It
That's
is
a sentence.
sentence. So I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna look at you all right. All right. So it says, in this season, dating has been slim. I ain't really been dating. You know what I'm saying? But true dating to Camille is spending time with one or more persons on a regular basis, getting to know if you can deal with or tolerate who they truly are, with no conditions, with the motive of being freely or falling deeply in love with, while helping one another reach goals and experiences, having incredible moments that are collected with daily engagement or involvement, which includes balance, peace, laughter, and freedom with the one person
I'm not gonna let you
that
tutor my
is
kids.
everythh. Huh?
I'm not gonna let you tutor my kids.
It's okay.
On your
I
birthday
understand.
day. On your
I
birthday day.
understand. But just blame the fact
On
that I
your-
don't have my glasses on. 'Cause they running
birthday day.
together.
You
can't see none of that.
Not to
Right.
mention,
You know I can't.
but
Right.
it's basically just spending time with a person. I prefer to date one person at a time, honestly. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for my phone ringing. I don't have time for the what you doing.
It's
the
the
morning
mental
text.
capacity.
That gets on my nerves.
It take too much.
I'd rather, I can't do too much at one time. I got a lot going on in my life. So that's mine. My definition is getting to know, figuring out if can I tolerate this person, that the fact that they have the flaws that they have. Can I live with it? My counselor, my pastor asked me when I was getting married, like, can you live with this person for the rest of your life? And I'm so dumb. I'm like, yeah.
You wasn't dumb.
7
You
months
love.
later,
You know?
it was different. And I thought I was in love, but that's the thing. Do we really know what love is?
And you know what? I think that to answer that question
Uh-huh.
specifically, you can be in love at this moment.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And things just get different later. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it takes away from how you love that person now. Because I was married to somebody, previously. I loved him. I did. I knew he wasn't good for me, but I still married him. Because I hoped things would be better. But I really truly loved him. But then as I got to, I loved him, but I just didn't like him no more. I was just looking at him like,
it was a turnoff, right?
it was a lot of things that began to be a turnoff. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Just other things that just add to where it was just like, But I truly did love him, and I wish that things were better. But for the aspect of what is dating, see, I kind of think I look at it a little bit differently.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, I think that if you're dating, that's my opinion, you can date as many people as you want. I'm not saying sleep with everybody, but I'm saying you can. Now, I can't juggle very well. My attention span is I can't juggle well. But I do feel like you're dating people to get to know them, to see if they are a match for you. And if you're dating this person, y'all are having a conversation over the phone, y'all gone and y'all met out in a different environment, things are good. It's like, oh, okay, let's meet up another time and see how, and then you meet up another time, then it's like, because I think it's different environments that set the mood too. Yes. Like today, he took me, he might took you to a candlelit, candles playing, this little lady, had a little Grand Marnier.
Y'all okay? Grand Murner.
That's what's in
you
these
got dressed cute.
Hey,
So you could have been in love with, you could have been in a moment with that thing. Like, girls, we like to get dressed up. We like to go on dates. We like that planned thing. I'm going out tonight. I'm about to smell good. I'm about to match the panties and the bra. We like all that. So you could have been in that moment. Then y'all go out and y'all might go out to a basketball game and you be like, you know what? I thought he was cool. Or y'all conversation was good at first and then it's just all different. But I feel dating is get to know somebody. Mm-hmm. And then once you date somebody, I think not automatically, authentically, you'll begin to spend more time with them and less time with other people without it even being planned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
because your desire to want that person.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful right there.
Dated or undated, however you want to call it. I was dating somebody was it last year, the year before last, whenever. Mm-hmm. Really nice guy. He was really nice to me, really, things, but I didn't want
to be in a relationship.
I didn't want to be in a relationship. I just wanted to date.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still spent all my time with this person. Because not that I couldn't do other things, because I'm very transparent, I just wanted to spend my time with this person, but it just didn't work out because, whatever the case. But I think dating is get to know someone until you figure out that's not the person for you.
Yeah.
Or that is the person for you, then you just spend more time with them and less time with other people authentically.
And so let me tell you how, and we got a question after we change this topic, okay? For me, dating is intentional, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from it's almost like an interview process for me, right? Because from the very beginning, I'm examining how we complement each other.
Right.
Like, are we mentally on the same level? Are we emotionally in the same place? What is relationship like with his mama? What is relationship like with his ex-wife, his kids' mama? All those things. Or do he serve the Lord, or do he just talk about it? You know what I'm saying? Do he manage his money right? Can he afford the lifestyle that he lives currently, and the lifestyle that we want to live together? Mm-hmm. I analyze all those aspects from the very beginning because I'm intentional about the process. Mm-hmm. And the moment that those things don't align, I'm out.
That's it. You got to make a decision. That's
I'm
one of my make the decision and stick to it. Because when you get a little horny that night and you hit up somebody that you already ruled out, and then you wonder why you got confusion later on, you already ruled them out. So why are you going back? You got to make that decision. When you see those red flags, I ignored them. I remember my college sweetheart. I don't know if I want to call him a college sweetheart, but I met him in college, and I literally had signs. My friend that I was just talking about earlier, she told me, his mama told me to leave him alone, but I ain't leave him alone.
Yeah.
I went through, I don't know what. I'm going to just be transparent.
So why do people ignore the red flags?
Because they like what they see.
Because we want to see people for what we want, not who they are.
That's exactly what I was
We want to see people for what we want, not who they are.
Yep.
And that's why we ignore them.
But mine was because he was fine.
Yeah, that's what you can see. You was blonde, but now you can see.
He had the goatee, he had the chocolate caramel skin, and he looked like he looked like a lion. I like men that look like lions and look strong. You gotta know. Cause see, I married a man.
I like a piece of a man too.
I
though.
married a man, and it's no discredit to my ex-husband, but I married him, but he was total opposite of what I want. And I would tell any woman, do not change up what you like to try to fix it and narrow it down. You are going through a process. You can choose somebody that's total opposite than what you normally attract. You are altering yourself. You're devaluing yourself because you're
Cutting
going for
yourself
something
short.
that you don't even want because you're trying to figure out that combination.
But you
the
might not know what you want at that time because it changes. Because I know it's been
I
times
know
where
what
I
I
didn't know.
want.
It's been times where I'm like, I really just don't. I keep choosing wrong. Like
I would never
don't
go
know.
for a skinny man ever again.
Oh, you saying by
unless
being my business?
baby, I never go for a skinny. He gotta look good. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a
do
plus
like- I
size
like to
girl.
be easy on
but,
the eyes,
but
you know
when
what
I
I'm
look
saying?
at you, I
But-
want a male.
But you know
when
what?
I'm on
That's not the
FaceTime,
most
I want a
important
male.
thing to me anymore.
I love
Because
the
I've
look.
always liked the big man workout. You know, I like, but now that is
not
not
about
the
the
first
looks,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, it got to be a little easy on the eyes.
Yeah, that's
but
all I'm
that's not the
saying.
first thing on my list.
The
you
first
know?
thing
You know
on my
what's the
list
first
is
thing
God and
you know what's
energy.
the first thing on
What's
my
on
list?
yours?
Intelligence. Well, of course, God, but after God, it's intelligence. Like,
Intelligence is important.
it is the very first thing on my list. Let me start having a conversation with a man and he intelligent. Ooh, you
That's
got
true.
you got me,
Yeah.
baby.
Ooh,
You
girl.
got- and,
Yeah.
and
Don't
you
let-
and you might not even be all that attractive, but you intelligent. Oh, that means that you have endless potential to do things. That's a turn on for me.
Mine's be business. Let you start talking about some business, and that's weird.
Oh, no, no, it's not,
You
baby,
start being
because
like, yeah,
ditto.
you know, I got this contracting company.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah,
What you
know,
say?
I had these employees, and I be bossing up. You know,
You
I'm
say
about to get this
what?
project started in 2024. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what get me. You start talking about some business.
And it's not even the money that
It's
you're
not
looking
about the
at.
money.
You're
It is
not even looking at
See,
it.
a lot of
Mhm.
men, when you say, when you come to them, let's say in dating, they'll be like, oh, you know, what do you want from a man? And I really, let me back up. I went on a date. I do not like to be asked, what do you want from a man? I know that's a good question, logical. I don't like to be asked that because I don't like to give you instructions on how to date me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because you can only be in character for so long until you return to yourself.
And so
know
what
what
you
I'm
do
saying?
is you don't give him specific answers of what the keys are to you. You tell him the characteristics that you want a man.
You gotta be vague. You can't
gotta
say
be vague.
I like walks in the park. You can say I like nature. You can convey those things to them because they have to figure it out.
figure you out.
Because
It's a
I
riddle.
don't like fake stuff. That's why I
Right.
moved. I'm sorry, I'm saying this, but that's why I moved my church. One of the reasons was because you can't orchestrate God.
Right.
You can't tell me sing this song and we're gonna say this scripture and we're gonna go back to this. No.
Okay, I got a few comments.
Go
I
ahead,
got
go
several
ahead,
comments,
go ahead,
right? Okay, so Anicia Jones said, I fall in love with potential instead of reality.
I
We
think
need to
may
help
have all
her.
done
Okay.
that. I've
But we
done
need
that.
to help her.
So before I move to the next question, how do you keep from falling in love with potential instead of reality?
Seeing
Say
that
what
for
you
who they are.
said
That's
again.
it.
What she
Repeat
said.
that.
That you gotta love. I mean, we have to see people for who they are, not who we want them to be.
right.
And that's the distinguish you when you grow or have different experiences, you'll be able to do that.
Right.
Like people, and a lot of times people show us who they are. And that's why I be telling
Yeah.
people when I hear about their baby mamas, I was like, so she was crazy when you got with her. You was
Yeah.
just in love.
You like that.
Yeah,
You
you
like
liked
that.
it. It was cute then. But you gotta accept people for who they're showing you. If they showing you this is who they are, then believe that. If they're showing you, hey, that ain't what I want to do, and you know that's not your attraction, don't try and put what you're attracted to on them. And a lot of times that's what we try and do because we like grape soda. We want them to like grape soda too. They not like grape soda.
But then
Yeah.
too, you might be doing it for you. My dad told me this. My dad's a counselor, and he told me this a long time ago. He says, "Kimmy, baby girl." Well, he don't call me Kimmy. He call
I
me
like
baby
you
girl.
said that.
He said, "Baby girl, you like projects,
A lot of women
not
do.
the projects." He said, "Projects."
Right.
He says, "You like projects." I was like, "Daddy, what you mean?" He says, "You look at a person." And in this specific conversation, we're talking about relationship. And basically what you said, you see the man for who he is as a good man, but you see him for what you want him to be as a great man.
Yeah, because we see the
can
future.
build- we can
Yeah, 'cause we can build a man.
together.
Right.
Yeah, we can build business together.
Yeah,
We can
we-
buy a house
And it wasn't
together.
even
We
business.
can,
Because he has
It was,
potential.
I feel like you're gonna be he's such a great man. He's gonna be so great because I see all the potential. You know, I didn't know to say the potential at the time. Like I said, it was years ago. I was like, well, I think that he's just gonna be so great. Just time. I'm gonna help grow him. I'm gonna put the soil. I'm gonna
Yeah,
water
you
him.
want to
I'm gonna
seed
decide,
time and
you know.
harvest,
So,
don't you?
but I didn't know that's what it was at the time. You know, I'm a caregiver by nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm a problem solver by nature. And that's what he told me. When he told me that, I didn't know if it hurt my feelings or not. Like, what do you mean?
I'm the same way, so that's why I'm like, I get that.
What do you mean I want But when I've looked at the relationships that really meant something to me,
All right.
and I see how it started, where they were, and what my mindset was at the time, I mean, I wouldn't want to say a project, but in my dad's words, a project, it was like,
They were a project.
I know you're going to be such a great man because we're going to do this, we're going to do this, I'm going to get your business started, I'm going to get this, and I've done that.
And they usually
that's how I
are-
met her. I've done that. I got your business started.
That
you got,
is literally how we met.
And that's usually they are good potential when you leave them. They exceed and excel when you're not
they
with
do,
them.
right.
Kimmy, I want to say this. You're talking about a relationship, but I think that you're at this table because we have a project. Like, this is a project.
This is a project.
This is a project.
It's a project.
And it is the lioness experience, but it's also your real estate business.
Yes.
It's also your
Yes.
nonprofit. It's also your nonprofit. It's your LLC. And it's my one-stop shop. And that's what it's about. You got to know
Yeah.
who you are when you're by yourself.
Right.
That is
That
true.
is one thing.
But let me tell
Go
you
ahead.
something. Most people don't really want to be by themselves.
Some
They-
do.
they don't-
Kimmy
they-
Kimmy
I'm-
just said it. Sometimes
Right.
she want to be by herself.
Right, but
They go through a
I'm,
phase.
It's easier.
I'm talking about a lot. Y'all know these women. There are a lot of women who settle for being with men who are not who they should be, because the alternative is for them to be by
Alone,
themselves,
yeah,
right?
alone.
I had a friend of mine one time. She was in a relationship with a guy, and he kept cheating on her, bringing her STDs, just cheating on her, right?
Just one time.
And for me personally, and I'm thankful that I can say this, I've never been in a relationship where I was cheated on. So I asked her one day, and I said, don't you feel like you deserve better? Don't keep letting him do that to you, right? And she said just as clearly, she said, Audrey, I'm not like you. I can't be by myself. And I said, I would rather be by myself than to be with somebody who mistreats me on a regular basis.
But there's a lot of women who are not like that. They would rather not be alone than to. They would endure that to not be alone. I'm not saying
Right.
right.
But you gotta like you. See?
But yes.
You gotta like you.
But
Gotta
you're
like
here,
you.
But this is where you are. Every woman's not like that.
And you
Because
gotta
there's
be
a lot
ready.
of women. Our grandparents. Our grandparents were there. Our grandparents wouldn't dare leave our grandfathers.
Correct.
And they had children
Absolutely
across the
not.
street, children down the street, children around
Unhappy,
the
they
corner.
still there.
They're gonna stay right him.
Okay,
You
but
know?
just because they did it don't mean that was the way it was supposed
And,
to be
and, it,
done.
and it shouldn't be that way.
It's
But it takes
2023.
knowing and growing and knowing yourself. At the age I'm at now, I'm still learning myself.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
that's so
I'm still
transparent.
learning what I like, what I don't like, what I will tolerate. I'm still saying, you know what, Kimmy, you know better. Even when I meet somebody, I'll be like, oh, you know what? Nah, Kimmy, don't do it.
But see, I'm
don't do it.
gonna tell you that, and we talked about this too. All right, I'm an only girl in an all-male family.
Okay.
Okay. So I have an advantage that most women don't have.
Okay.
I was raised by a man. I was raised with men, and I've raised men. So I've seen the evolution of men in every aspect of life throughout my life. And so one thing that I know is when women don't have a father figure, when they meet a man, oftentimes they're trying to figure, they don't know whether he's a man or not because they haven't had an example of a man in their life to assure them whether or not he's a man or not.
And you know what, to back that up, I will say from my experience, I think that, because I do self-evaluation of myself, I think that that's one thing that you are correct on. Because when I think of a man that I want to be with, it often is not consciously. It's often I think I'm wanting him to take on some of the roles that I feel like my father should have taken on.
Yes.
That's why when you hear me say, I just want to be a girl.
Instead of
You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, quietly, it doesn't sound bad out loud. It's like, oh, I don't want him to be my daddy, not daddy like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's some of those qualities. That's why, I had a guy take me to get ice cream. One of the best dates I had always did was go get ice cream. But when I look back on those things, it makes my eyes teary. I am such a pump, right?
It's all right.
But when I look back on it, like, man, all we did was get ice cream, sit on a bench, and eat ice cream.
That's
the best
it.
time.
But sometimes the most simple dates are the best
don't
dates
take a lot.
ever.
Right.
And
It
I
does
be
not
telling
take a
people,
lot.
it don't take a lot. Sometimes the simplest dates are the best
Tell
dates
us
ever.
about it, Catherine.
You know what?
Go
I
ahead.
have me and my boyfriend been together too. We date every Saturday. It has not
Nice.
been a Saturday that he don't. Baby, you better not call and say you're gonna do no Saturday. That's date night. Date night is
love it.
Saturday.
I love
And
it.
date night for us is it's a time we both get to. He don't have to be Superman. I don't have to be Superwoman. I can be I can be whoever I want to be, and it's accepting. I don't have to have on a cape. I don't have to be strong.
Right.
I can be in my feminine energy, and we laugh, we joke. Like you be out with us, you know. If we ain't gonna do nothing else, we're going to laugh and joke, and we just kick it. We shoot pool. I mean, like I take him on a date monthly. Monthly, I'm planning a date. He's gonna take me on a date. Like we date each other, and it's more so just to rekindle the intimacy, mentally, physically, emotionally, not just sexually. It's how was your day? Like, how are you feeling mentally? How are you emotionally? What are you battling with?
Y'all
Like,
connecting on all levels.
yeah, like we're trying to see how can I help you, or what do I need to be better at? Like we sit and we have real open, real transparent conversations, and that's what I adore. But it's like I think sometimes we're too honest with each other, because some conversations I'd be like, "Did you?" I'd be
What
like,
you mean to say that?
right? I was like we were having a conversation the other day, and he was like, if I had to cheat on you, it wouldn't be physically, and I was like,
Wait a minute.
I was like, what do you mean? He was like, it would be.
Transparent.
He was like, it would be mentally. I just looked at him, and I was like, did you? I was like. You was really bold enough to see, but I was like, that's even worse than physically. I was like, so, and I wanted to know. I'm like, what am I lacking that would, or am I not approachable? Do you feel like you can't vent to me? Like, it made me like, and I didn't get mad. It was something I wanted to know. Like, and it's something, and I adore that about us, because we're always trying to figure out how to make each other better, or how to continue to love each other. Because you got to think, as you grow, things change. Like what I wanted last year, I don't want this year.
That's right.
And it's cool because we're constantly trying to figure out, hey, what do you like, or what do you like to do? Because it does changes, and that's the thing about marriages and growing. We're still, our goal is, hey, we're gonna love each other through whatever. Right. When you get mad, you gonna go lay down. Yeah, like we're growing together. Like every day it ain't pretty, and I think that's one of the things why I like being single so long, because it was easy. Being single is easy. You don't have to care. I ain't got to be compassionate. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your kid. I don't care about anything outside of me. And that's the easy part about it. Being single is easy because I don't have to put no energy and invest in you if I don't want to. But when you get in a relationship, you be like, this right here ain't. I'll be like, are you sure you want to do this? Like I be like, you sure you want to be together? Because we can do something different. But I'm learning and I'm growing, and I often tell him, teach me how to love you.
Yeah,
I often have to tell him. I do.
Really
I tell him all the time, like, teach me how to love you. Don't
like
teach
that.
how to love whoever I was loving, but teach
Right.
me how to be the woman you need me to be for you. How to
like
cater
that.
to how to fill your cup, how to feel your emotions, whether it's mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. How do I cater to what you need?
And
So
so
where
I'm
did you
gonna
get to that? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask a question that aligns
Okay.
with that, because that's you submitting to him.
Mhm.
Right? And
I
so
love that word.
that is one
I
of the-
like to submit
That is
too.
one of, somebody said, how do you be submissive or vulnerable if you don't know how to be in a relationship?
That's me. Honest to God, truth. I have never been. And I tell him all the time, you're getting the best version of me. I'm like a new shiny penny when it comes to him, because I've never been in a position to be vulnerable or comfortable. But you do know that is a part of healing. If you're not healed, then you're never gonna be with somebody that's going to make you vulnerable or comfortable or submissive.
You think it's him that brought that out of you, that particular man was able to bring that out of you?
I do. I think
Yeah.
he's been patient enough to understand. He didn't run, because I know. He asked me the other day, would I marry me? I was like, I'll be engaged for a little while, but I don't know about marriage. Like he did. Look, he was like, would you marry you? I was like, we could get engaged, but as far as, because I know that it's a lot of emotions that come with me. I know I carry a brick wall. I know that the wall is up here and you're going to keep climbing.
But you have a man that understands.
And he understands
you
that.
And trying to work with you. And when you ask the question, teach me how to love you.
And I
think
do.
that's
I
so
often
important.
tell him, like I even had to tell him, teach me how to need you. Teach me, because I honestly don't know. And I love that transparency and that vulnerability between me and him, because sometimes you really don't know. And as a woman, it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah.
So give me 3 points, because I really want to help her. How do you be submissive?
Okay.
Let me get back to the question. Hold on.
How do you be submissive?
How do you be submissive or vulnerable if you don't know how to be in a relationship?
You gotta
Give me 3 points.
First of all, you have to give a person an opportunity to lead. You won't know what they can and can't do if you're not giving them an opportunity to try.
A man will sit back too.
Because he will.
lay
If he
all the way
sees
back.
that he can't lead, he just gonna be like, do you? So you got to give a person an opportunity to sink or swim. And if they do sink, then teach them how to swim, because it's a reciprocation. I'm going to teach you how to love me, and I want you to teach me how to love you.
I like that.
So first it comes with healing. You got to be able to heal before you heal yourself, not him, because sometimes y'all got to realize sometimes we're their blessing. They're not necessarily ours. Sometimes we're the need, and that's just what it is. So understand your position. Make sure you're healed. And that's before you get into any relationship, friendship, whatever. Make sure that you are healed and you understand who you are.
Catherine, I'm sorry. Because what? You were finna say something.
Because nothing.
I'm sorry because I've been wanting to hit this since the first 20 minutes when Akemi brought up childhood. When you learn yourself and know where you come from, a stable childhood or an unstable childhood will cause you to act out as an adult, and you're thinking what you're doing is right, but it's wrong because your leaders were wrong. So when your leaders, when your daddy hitting your mama, when your daddy too aggressive, that son is gonna see that. And he may not be hitting a woman, but he may be too aggressive for the woman that he's with. Like me, don't yell at me. Don't cuss at me, don't yell at me. But if we have a problem and we're talking and you can talk to me, baby, I'm ready to say I do. Because you can communicate with me, you can calm me down, and I don't have to argue with you. And I'm not even thinking that far ahead in that moment, but you can just turn it from the norm when you're normally arguing and you fighting. And I remember one time I caught my boyfriend at the time. He was finna go cheat on me. He was finna go. Look, the tutor, the teacher, the educator, he was finna go cheat on me. And I caught him in his steps. I was out Ubering, and my last customer was just like, leave it on. Just go take trips. So I'm just driving around. I said, well, I'm gonna go pop up on my man. You know, just go see what he doing. Girl, I was in the parking lot, and he was coming out the door with a duffel bag. Oh. And I said, where you going? He was coming outside. I get out the car. He was going back in the house before. I said, where you going in the house? When he hid the bag in the laundry closet in the kitchen. I said, well, what's going on? Where that bag you had when you came back in here? Go in the bag. Lifestyle condoms. It ain't even the Magnum. It's lifestyle condoms. And I said, what was you doing? You got clothes in there? You got condoms? He talking about, the condoms for the homeless. Oh, you can't.
The homeless.
You can't come up with nothing.
He was about to go do a good deed, sis.
So to the sis that's talking about you don't know how to date, first off, you have to understand the signs.
You do.
You have to.
No, first you got to heal yourself.
You got to heal. Heal yourself.
And I'm glad you went back to that because you're not necessarily just healing yourself from a relationship. You're healing yourself from poor leadership of your parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
childhood trauma.
And even if it's not a trauma, what if you have a parent that just didn't date in front of you and you never saw your parent dating a man? Like my mama, I love my mama to death. She's holier than thou. I've seen friend guys over the year,
nobody.
But they're not no one serious. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no
dated
man in my
somebody.
house laid up. You know, so I'm thankful for that. So I have a question from one of our viewers earlier on in the week who's been following us. They asked, how long should you date a person or court a person before moving to the next level?
Oh, let me tell you what.
You always do.
I'm going to tell you what my big mama used to say.
What big mama say?
She used to say it take 4 seasons to get to know somebody.
You gotta know when
Because you want to see them when they happy, when they sad, when they broke, when they got money, when they stressed, when they with their family, when they with their friends, when they just got off work, when they on their way to work, when they left the gym. You want to see them in every aspect of life. And you can only do that when you allow time. See, a lot of times people be in a rush because they want that connection, they want that feeling. But you really need to evaluate and see whether or not that's somebody you want to be with.
Absolutely.
That's a question too. I know you had one too. So based on this, and asking everybody here that's online too, what's the difference between courting and dating?
Oh.
Between what?
Courting and dating. And is there a difference?
Oh, baby, you showing your age.
No millennial.
I'm showing my age.
Courting, girl.
What's court? Does that mean like flirting?
It's the way our grandparents dated.
Right. They dated by courting.
They dated by courting. There was no sex before relationship.
Okay.
They genuinely got to know each other. They met each other's family and they got approval and they courted.
Process.
They courted like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you ever stop dating or courting. I mean, like you should
Oh,
never
that's a
stop.
good one.
You never. I mean, because that's a different level of intimacy, and that's the thing. Like people who get in relate, it does turn into a business. It does, because you're so. That's just the social world we live in. You work, I work. So it's all, so you never want to lose communication. That whatever foundation y'all fell in love on, you don't never want to lose that.
Yeah.
So you always got to stick to the basics. That's why we gonna date on Saturday nights. Y'all ain't got to worry about calling me, because I'm dating right now.
I hear a lot
As
of
you
marriages,
should. I
they
like that.
still date.
Yeah,
They
my
still
mom and
go
dad
out.
still date, and my mom and dad been together 35 years, and my daddy still be like, "Go put on your red dress and let's go."
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they've been together for
Yeah,
35
like my
years.
mom and daddy still date.
Now think about
You still
those that
supposed to
don't
flirt
even
with your
sleep.
person.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
about when they don't sleep together? They slept together. Things come. My granny and my papa don't sleep together no more.
That's probably because
I
he
mean,
snore.
because it's older age, and they do say because you snore. Like,
Yeah,
the
because
other person snore.
I'm not sleeping
I
with you.
want to
you
love
snore.
my man snore. I want him to snore because I'm snoring too.
Well, let me go to sleep first. That's what I used to say.
Right,
Let me
yeah,
go to sleep
that's
I
first.
me.
want to love my man snore.
Let me go
I
to
want
sleep
him to be
first.
comfortable.
But
Baby,
you
go
know,
ahead.
that's one of the rules in my house. We don't sleep apart. I don't care how mad
right.
you are.
Yeah.
And one thing my mom always said, and I tell anybody every day they've been with, don't knock that door when you mad, because it's always somebody out there waiting to hear whatever I don't know what it is about when you mad, but
Baby,
everything
it
sounds
sound real
good.
good, don't
So that's one of the rules in my relationship. Hey, I don't care how mad you get. We ain't sleeping in separate beds. We still gonna pray. We still gonna kiss each other. Don't knock that door without telling me you love me. Do not come. We're not
That's
doing
important.
that.
You said we still gonna pray.
Yeah, we not gonna do. Yeah, we're in this to win it. Stuck with me. Yeah, fuck me. You're stuck with
Then
me.
the other question, I guess, let's get on the lighter side.
Mm-hmm.
So dating in 2023, we just got here. What does a first date look like?
Oh, I love that.
What does a
Yes.
first date look like?
What does it look like? Like when you
The
on a
best-
date? Go
the
ahead.
best first date for me, which is a free date,
Okay.
would be to take me to the Dallas Museum of Art, because I love
that
art.
place.
You do.
And we can simply walk through and talk. And when we're done, I'm probably gonna have a picnic basket, and we can go right over to Clyde Warren Park and have a little picnic.
I
And
like
that's
that.
free.
That's an ideal first date. for
That's
me.
free. A lot. I mean, everybody's struggling. Life is lifing right now. So everybody's finances are being, stretched thin, and men feel like they gotta drop $200 and $300.
free date.
You can do a free date. You just gotta be creative, and then you gotta know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you got a girl that's creative. She'll give you some ideas. She'll lead you to the water, but you gotta dream.
To me, I guess the first date is not necessary. I'm not going to say it's about the money. It's not. I think it's about creativity.
Yes.
I think it's about, we've had a conversation. We must have talked, I'm going to say at a minimum of 5 times at least before we've gone out. You know what I'm saying? Probably more than that. So if we conversated, you listened to me, you got to feel or vibe for kind of what I like to do. Me, I love different things. I went on a date to, I don't even know what to call this place, but it's like you play putt inside of a building with some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so fun. I love stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I never been there. I
Yeah.
don't know how much you spent, but it was like you listen. Then we went another date to this singing thing. Just
See,
some
I'm gonna
crazy
tell you
stuff.
something.
love
I
it.
don't like to do dates where we're at the movies, we're at a game.
I don't like the
because
movies
we
for the
can't
first date.
talk. We can't have a
I
conversation
don't like the
Yeah.
movies for the
because
first
what the
date.
date is about is
Is
me feeling you out and
communicating.
getting to know you. So I want to be somewhere. That's that intellect I told y'all about.
Mhm.
I want to be somewhere where we can engage in conversation.
Mhm. Yep, I like that.
That sounds good.
Jennifer Deanne said her first date was at Keith's Park.
Yes, Oak
she
Cliff.
loves the park.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I had a first date it must have been about over 6-7 years ago at the museum. Remember I told you I had a first date
Museum
there.
of Art.
The Museum of Art, beautiful
Yeah.
place. I love that place. We all should go. But had
Okay.
there, and actually I met this guy online. Remember I asked you this was the first person
Okay,
I ever met
online
online.
dating.
And I know
I
what she's
just-
talking about.
Hello, my girl, you need to go online. And they go, so I get online.
I tried
meet this
it.
guy, meet a guy. We met at the museum of place for the first time. We're still
Okay.
friends today.
That's what's
6
up.
years later, we're still friends today, but that was one of my first dates, and I enjoyed it immensely. The place is absolutely amazing, where you could talk and communicate. Because first dates, I think you should be able to have a conversation. So when somebody says the movies, what are some other good first dates or some dates that you think would be a good first date when you meet somebody?
Me personally, I like to have fun. So, and I like to do things that show goofy side. So let's go ice
Yeah.
skating. So,
I like that.
because I know I'm gonna fall, so it's
He
gonna be
gonna
fun.
catch you, gonna fall in his arms.
Or
Like a
let's go
movie.
bowling.
Okay.
Or
interactive.
Let's
I like
go
that
go
too.
kart
Competition.
racing. You know, I like competition. Let's go play basketball at Days and Buses. That's me.
Oh yeah, that's me. I whipped my ex
Oh, yeah.
several times.
That's
I
me
like
too.
fun things. I don't
Let
want
me
stuff
tell
to
you
be too
something I learned
serious.
about
What?
meeting a man on a
What?
Because you know I'm serious about those
Competition.
dominoes.
Oh.
Do not. I
thought it was the spades.
I've learned. I'm serious about spades, but I'm serious about dominoes too. So I have learned this because I'm competitive.
Okay.
When I am playing a man that I like,
Don't
and
talk trash
I
to
want to
him.
be on the second date, not just don't talk trash to him. Do not beat him mercifully. Okay, don't do that. I've done that a few times, and it kind of changed the energy of the date.
So, dating in 2023, you meet somebody for the first time. Are you and you want to sleep with him? Do you, or do you have other reservations of the reasons why you shouldn't, besides because you want
It
to?
don't matter if you sleep with a person on day 1, day 30,
I
day
don't think so
50, day
either.
60. That does not matter. I mean, because you got to think this
because
new.
you don't want to be creating soul ties with everybody.
Well, it just depends on the person too, because I don't sleep with people and I didn't even care about them. I didn't even call them the next day. They was probably on block before I got out the door anyway.
Do you hear me?
So I mean, that don't necessarily mean that. Like, I mean, I don't think that whole let's not sleep in 90 days. They ain't gonna be sleeping with you because they're gonna be sleeping with somebody else. So you ain't gonna have to worry about
For
it.
you, it's for you.
Yeah,
What you
what-
want to do you?
Because if a person likes you, I've met people that's done slept on the first night and they married to this day. I met people, so for whatever reason, they say people know when they supposed to be together. Do
We can
y'all
go-
believe in that? Like that love at first sight?
We can go back to timing. Timing is everything. If
Yeah.
you're immature and you hurt and somebody comes, they can answer all your prayers and you still hurt, you gonna miss out. And they gonna be confused like, Lord, what's going on? Because y'all could really work. But if y'all don't work and you're not healed, you're gonna miss out on it. And it may come back, it may not come back. That's why you gotta take things serious, and that's why you gotta live for today. You know what I'm saying? Like, spontaneous dating is fun. When you can date spontaneous and you can just be yourself. When a woman let her guard down and she don't even realize she's not even thinking about what she
Right.
look like, what she feeling
That is
like,
the best
and
thing.
she
It
feels
is.
comfortable. I know.
I
When
don't
she
never
feels
think about what I
comfortable
look
with a
like.
man, that's one feeling that that's how I fall in love. That's how I fall into that moment of where nothing else matters. I can't think about nothing or nobody else. Like, no, I'm not thinking about no invoices. Don't inbox me. I'm not thinking about no links. I'm not thinking about no booking, no photo
Automatic
shoots.
payment.
Let that cash app go off. And I'm going to turn to him and be like, yeah, I like the way that sounds. You know what was you saying? But literally, you guys, this has been an amazing podcast.
Yes, it has.
I will say this. So many people are in relationships with people only because they do not want to be alone.
Right.
So when you're in a relationship with somebody because you're in fear of dying, when you're in fear of
Being
just being alone,
A lot of people be
and a
complacent,
woman
though.
is not there to cook for you, and you know it's one thing like
Because it
for real.
goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And when you have the opportunity, don't take advantage of it. Don't get too comfortable too quick, because the person that's putting in work with you, if they get tired of you and you comfortable and you just chilling and you're not putting in any effort, they're gonna, that's why people cheat.
You got to continue to work.
That is exactly why people cheat, you guys. So we've talked about a lot. We've talked about anxiety on dates. Men, be confident, be powerful, be the lion that
that's
you
what's sexy.
are.
And
Okay?
lionesses.
And lionesses, cross your legs and sit like a lady and let him drive. Let him lead. Let him, shut up. I wanted to say something else,
Ooh.
but just shut up,
Yeah.
ladies.
We only gonna shut up
And
and let them lead if they leading by example, though.
I know, but then if you
But you
if
have
with
to give 'em
somebody-
opportunity.
If you're
But
not
wait a
with
minute,
somebody that's leading by example, you have chosen the wrong one, and you are wasting your time. But when you're with the right one, even if it's not the right one, even if it's the right one for right now, because like I
Yes.
said, all of these relationships, I've had a high school. I probably had like 3 or 4 boyfriends in my life, true boyfriends. If they all taught me something. They all
Right.
prepared me for my marriage. That marriage didn't work out, but that marriage and those relationships prepared me to who the woman I am today. So when we go out tonight at Tippadoes, and that's gonna be a tonight for my birthday.
Where we
We're
going?
going to Tippadoes.
Happy
So
birthday.
if y'all want to come, we got on our pink. Go ahead and go in your closet and in your dirty clothes if you have to, and pick out your pink, because
Not
we're gonna
dirty
be at the
clothes.
at Tippadoes. There is one point. I know we gotta close, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta go, baby.
Did y'all see Creed?
I did.
Oh,
Did y'all
yes.
see- So this is an example that I wanted to bring up about communication. It's not going to tell you the storyline, but she said communication of the past was needed for the partner to understand her lover.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
He
a really
had a
good one.
hard life, but it was hard for him to explain. He swept it under the rug, but it was hard for her to understand her husband, not her boyfriend, her child's father and her husband. It was hard for her to understand him because he was holding on to that hurt. And he was scared to bring it out. And it wasn't necessarily with her. It was something that he was doing within himself, trying to forget something. But she needed to understand. So I did want to bring that up. And last but not least, y'all, I'm sorry. But I did a little research, and we got to know who we are. That question that I asked, who are you when you're by yourself? The personality test y'all told me to take a month ago, I took it last night.
Okay.
And y'all, I am a campaigner.
Campaigner.
I'm a campaigner, and I literally, I'm not gonna go into depth, but I'm an extrovert. And y'all that love astrology, if you look at astrology, you definitely need to look at the 16 personality test. It's absolutely free. It will give you your
I'm gonna have to
results
link into
so
that.
that you can know yourself. Like
Who
astrology.
did you have characteristics like?
Oh, I didn't
My
see that
my
part.
characteristics.
mine.
My characteristics was I had characteristics like Oprah and
I can see that.
Obama. So when I posted today that my life coach keeps calling me an Oprah, it was like he don't even know that that's what my 16
That's
personality
God.
test
Confirmation.
said. Yeah.
That's confirmation,
Yeah.
and that's helping you understand your personality. Just like astrology, I love astrology. I'm an Aries. My birthday is Wednesday.
Happy
But
birthday.
thank you. The personality test let me know that I'm a campaigner, and it also lets you know things about yourself that you may not want to know. And that's good too. Don't run from it. I was kind of running from it, but I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna read the analysis of a campaigner, and I'm gonna learn myself a little bit more so that I know when the next man approaches me or when the one I already know is ready, because I'm tired of waiting. But if he
Ooh,
already know, hint, I know you're
hint.
listening. But the campaigner just lets me know. Think about it. A campaigner, somebody that's running, they want to be chosen. Not necessarily that the campaigner wants. That's me. But you're outspoken. You're an extrovert. You don't have a problem meeting new people.
You're always speaking on other people's behalf. I'm sure that's
yes,
a part of that.
Yes, and I have empathy for other people and how they feel. So I'm going to bring this session to a close. I'm sure we're going to talk about dating and relationships again because we've talked about the 5 love languages. We've talked about being unequally yoked. We've talked about single parenting. And all of these conversations that we're talking about is to help you. It's to help our viewers. And we're so thankful for you guys.
Yes.
Stay in tune with us. How many? They say we shouldn't ask how many views. How many views we got?
It's 13 online.
We got
but
13.
The chat been on fire.
The
whole
chat is on
time.
fire. We thankful for that 13. You hear me?
Yeah, and last but not least,
Go ahead.
everybody, one thing I will, suggest is get to know you. I was told at one time, date yourself, because I was married for a long time and I raised kids. I didn't know the instructions to dating. Like, what are you supposed
You
to
didn't
do?
know
I used to
yourself
call my
outside
friend.
the
Am I supposed to
marriage.
call them back? Is it a time frame? And but date yourself. You know what I'm saying? Know what you
yourself.
like. Know what you don't like.
Yeah.
Go to places, look up places, Google places that you would like to go to, that you would like to see. Look at people and say, what types of personality traits that I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
Because it's not about how much money all the time. It's not about where they work, what they drive, how they live, and all that kind of thing. You could just date. And the purpose of you dating at that moment is getting to know you, because you will learn a lot about yourself from dating people.
Absolutely.
And learn to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you won't tolerate anything less than that.
All right, you guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to end with what Akemi said. That was amazing. We always have to put out there that we are advertising for business owners. We have Angels of Aubrey. We have Unique Pieces. We have the Realtor from Keller Williams. We have D Wigs Boutique. What is it called?
Collection.
D Wigs Collection. Boutique Collection. I'm going to respect her name, baby. She had an LLC. Millie's Phenomenal Photography. This table is full of women that collaborate and come together and can help you. You need a home. You need food. You need a tutoring service. You need cosmetics, we got you.
You need some bundles.
If you need some bundles.
If you need a pool and some construction, we do that too.
We do that too.
Yes, barn dominions. You need a building, honey. We build them too.
A handyman. We
Yep.
have the connections. Everything that we need is in our phones. We have everything that we need.
Where's
We
the
already
lineup of
have.
men though? Where does
We got them. All we gotta do is call Greg Johnson.
They at the barber shop at 5 a.m. in the
I
morning.
ain't gonna make it at 5 in the morning.
It's all right. They open all day. So as we're talking about Greg from our single parent show, he has introduced us to a young man, a veteran in the business community. Next on our next segment, we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're gonna be talking business. We talked a little bit about business early on in this episode, but we're gonna have a long episode talking about business, how to get your LLC, what trials and tribulations and barriers we went over to have our businesses. So please tune in with us. I believe that is, I can't quote the date. It's in
The
April.
14th.
The second week in April,
It's
the
the
14th. Thank you, Audrey. The 14th of April, we'll be talking about entrepreneurship, and we're going to be talking business. Everybody want to make money, but are you making money the right way? Go ahead. Okay. So
somebody said happy. Everybody saying happy birthday to you.
Happy
thank you.
birthday.
It's Wednesday, but it's
Come
setting
on,
off
y'all.
tonight.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday
to
to
you. Wait. We gotta do that
Okay,
again.
y'all,
We
we
doing
don't
Stevie
sing.
Wonder.
We don't sing.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Thank y'all so much. I'm excited. I'll be 35 on Wednesday.
Yes.
Before we close, the last announcement. If you have a business, we have advertising packages that will advertise your business. I don't care if you're a makeup artist, if you have lashes. I don't care if you have a cleaning service. I don't care if you sell chicken seasoning. I don't care if you're a lawyer. Whatever it is that you do, we have packages for business owners from all over the world, not just Dallas locals. So if you're in Houston, Austin, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and you have a service that you can provide to people all over the world, we will advertise your business starting at $99 a month. Okay, we have multiple packages. The smaller the package, the smaller the price. The bigger the price, the bigger the package. So if you want to network with us, we will provide headshots for you. We will do content. You will be able to come on the podcast, and we're definitely going to talk about your business on our podcast. Okay, so we're offering those opportunities. Also, if you want to be a guest, we have multiple topics that we talk about on our show. And I know tonight, I know for a fact, I don't need nobody to tell me. I know tonight you got something and you can feel this good energy over here. I need you to tap in with us, send us an email, so you can be a guest speaker. You can come and talk about what you do. We have an extra seat tonight. Somebody missed out. But you can come and sit here on the mic, engage with us. Nothing is off limits, and you can also share your businesses. We appreciate you. Send us an email at info@thelionessexperience.com. That's THELIONESSEXPERIENCE.com. It's not too much. Some people can't read.
And I just dropped it in the chat.
And we just dropped it in the chat. So you'll go to the comments and stay connected with us. We go live, we post. We're very engaging with our audience, and we thank those that have been watching us thus far. Have an amazing weekend. Do something for yourself, and most importantly, ladies, be a lady so you can get caught.
Yeah.
All right, it's a wrap.
Have a
Thank
good
y'all.
one.
Have a good night. We're going to
Have a
Tip
good
It
night.
tonight in Duncanville, Texas.
Let's go!
Pull up on us because we gotta go.